Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Talk Football NFC South Takeover, episode 12, with your hosts, Kyle Yacey and the lovely
Nichole Klaczak.
Nichole. How's it going? How's your week going, man?
It's going good. I guess it's Tuesday. We got a really pretty cold snap here with the wind chill. It's like minus 40 down to minus 50. So
I feel that. Actually, for the Americans that are watching, that's minus 30, I believe minus 38 degrees Fahrenheit.
yeah. So I was happy with my car starting. That's all I got to say. How about you?
Same here. I always hate this weather, especially with the wind. That's the one thing, right? Like, I don't mind the cold per se, but when the wind adds it as a factor, especially when you're driving, it just sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks. But we're surviving little by little, right? So really can't hate that. So lots happened this week. Unfortunately, we were, I believe, on the same end of the stick again this week, it looks like. Let's talk about it.
Oh boy. I mean, do you want to go or did I want to go?
Ladies first. I need to be a gentleman.
Okay, well, just to recap, I ate my words. We lost. We were up against the Bucks, huge rival, and we kicked the bucket. We lost 16-17 on a good Monday primetime night for everyone to see. So there's no hiding it. And I was quite upset. We had what was it? Hardly anything. I don't know. There is not much to talk about. I mean, we'll get into it a little bit later, but as far as we were winning, we had them, and it was like 10-3 for the longest time in the game. And, we shut down Tom Brady right in the red zone multiple times. And you should have heard, I swear my neighbors think something's going on because I was screaming for my life. It was a sight to see. And then Tom Brady did Tom Brady, and you can never count them out. That's the thing that's always with the Bucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we just need to get on top. And we were there. We were on top. And I'm like, this is great. And then at the last minute, shit hit the fan. Alvin Kamara didn't really even do much. Ingram did really great in the beginning, but then he just dropped the ball with not even trying to go for a first down.
How frustrated were you? I really want you to let it out right now. I just want you to we got somebody that's on right now, a very special guest host that really wants to tune in. You know what I mean? Just
cover your ears. I don't even know. So the Buccaneers, they stole another one from us, and I'm really upset about it. I even wrote some things about, Olave was great. Olave was awesome. And Rashid, I thought Rashid was going to get a touchdown, but no. So, yes, I see you there in your all red flare and your beautiful, the flags waving, always in the wind.
Yeah, Mr. Fort Saskatchewan native. How's it going there, by?
Sorry, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Just like is the Saints defense on in the last 3 minutes of a game? Oh,
you know what?
Oh my God!
I will say, you know what? Kudos to you guys on your win. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. But if anybody knows anything about blowing the first 3 minutes this year, let's talk about your Buccaneers. For once, you were on the opposite side of the stick.
Do you see this logo? Do you see this logo?
I do.
This logo is 6-6 because we won the game. You know what?
So excited.
Throw all those stats. You know what, Nichole? Everyone was excited. Everyone was excited. Do you not know the group chats? You see all the group chats? Everybody likes to throw in their money line parlays and their I told you, Andrew, you should have listened to me. This is the reason why I have a Super Bowl. Is because everybody doesn't know when to shh.
Oh my god.
I even made
Nichole,
a custom built picture, and I ate my words. And you know what, sir? I said this last week. I don't have any salt, but I will throw salt behind me.
It was funny when my fiance came downstairs and was literally looking at the game and looking at me huffing and puffing after a while. And she looks at me, and this joking, obviously. And she goes, "Should I just uninvite Nichole and Mark right now?"
I was thinking that too.
and I was like, "No, God, don't be rude. I've already done it." No.
I was like, I hope I'm still invited
no.
to the Christmas party.
Yeah, no, I would never do that to you. No. And the only reason I'm holding this here is just as a friendly reminder to everybody out there, whoever doubted this logo right here. It's not my co-host. My co-host can say whatever the heck they want about this logo and stuff like that. But there's a lot of you out there who got things to say about this team. And believe me, I got things to say about this team too. Go check out my social media. I'm still not all entirely sold on Todd Bowles.
I believe a special somebody made a post actually preemptively. So just to answer a question quickly, Alex Schomburg, injuries happen. I don't know what you really want me to say about that, man. Like, Kyle Pitts is still Kyle Pitts. You got injured. It happens, buddy. Don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God, I am getting a black eye, aren't I? What? It's awesome. What's up? Hi, everybody.
But yeah, like the game, from what I saw on social media, you weren't really all convinced the Bucks were going to come back. Let's just be transparent with this.
There was a lot of booing in the audience, and it was a home team town.
Yep.
I believe you made a certain post said about Todd Bowles. Do you want to reiterate that a little bit?
Nope. Okay. I thought you were going to say something else for a second. No, fire him. I get it. Everyone's going to cling to, well, he was right to not let Tom Brady go. No. We didn't need to win the game with 3 seconds left to go. We could have won that game, and I mean to say this respectively, of course.
No, go for
and
it.
I only say this because we did win the game. So now it's just like there's a little bit more ins and outs of it. Yep. We could have won the game still had we gone for it on the 4th and 10 when Tom Brady was about to take control. And I know all these big New York and Los Angeles media guys want to talk about Tom Brady as a player, and he'll always need to understand that you never go above and beyond the head coach. Okay. Take that out of just the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, I think on one of the most important drives of their playoff run of a couple years ago, was a audible play that they created that Andy Reid has specifically been like, go ahead and do. You see it with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. You see it a couple of places where a coach allows that leniency. Yep. For me, what happened there? Tom Brady willing to go for it. This is his team. He won the Super Bowl with this assembled team. Let's not overshadow it. That right there showed me that Todd Bowles is trying to take control, and he's trying to be like, this is my team. I don't give a damn what anybody says. And that just means that even if we get into the playoffs, it'll be a soft first-round exit, and Tom Brady is going to be sniffing either the 49ers or the Dolphins or the New Orleans Saints, and being like, I am going to be the person that goes and wins a championship in one flipping year. Which, by the way, to add to that, Madden, every single time when you do a franchise little, like you just, skip a few years and stuff like that, Tom Brady always goes to either 2 locations, the New York Giants or the Atlanta Falcons. And it's the Atlanta Falcons like 85% of the time. And I laugh at it because I'm like, wouldn't that be the biggest F?
I doubt it. Like, I don't get me wrong. Like, I'd like it, sure, because I really want a quarterback that can throw. But at the same time, I don't you don't really see that divisional change happen too often. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't have, like, it's kind of been a little bit of an off year, I'll say, especially actually within our division, like with the Bucs and the Falcons respectively. But it's not too common that people want to trade within in the division. You did mention though the Dolphins.
Yep.
And what was the other team you said besides the Saints?
49ers.
I could see potentially maybe. I don't know. Like, it's kind of a slap in the face to Trey Lance, in my opinion, if they go that route for the year. But maybe they feel he's not ready. I don't know. The Giants and the Dolphins, I could absolutely see that happening. I doubt he's on the Bucks. Like, I don't think it will happen. Like, I think that's.
I mean this.
Seems like there's other things at play.
Yeah.
And I mean this in all respect. I said it last night too. I understand kind of where some Patriot fans have been coming from. I'm tired of Tom Brady. And I mean that in all respect. Tom Brady's not going to be there for 5 or 6 years. He's not someone that we've built or building upon.
You see the decline now. And I can honestly say, and I think you can see it. You can say it. Nichole can say it absolutely. That you, for the first time in a very, very long time, you physically can see the decline. It is happening. Absolutely.
He went from a top 5 to top 7 quarterback every year, where he's sitting at probably like 14th or 15th in the league right now. Proper average. And it sucks. And we're 6-6, and we have good games and we have bad games. But at the same time too, we have not scored more than 23 points at all this year, except for the one time against the Chiefs. That is a problem.
I did not know that.
Too. Yeah, I absolutely. You kind of nailed it on the head. Sorry, I didn't mean to trailblaze your guys' conversation. Was there anything more to add to this game?
That was the more exciting Buccaneers game I've watched. Like for the first 2.5-ish quarters, I just kind of sat there and was just like, okay, let's see what's going to happen. Oh, look, we have 3 points. Oh, look at that. We have 3 points. Oh, look at that. We have 3 points. And then all of a sudden it became like, okay, maybe. And then for me personally, I was just like, for fantasy purposes, just because now both of you are in the league, so you've seen the league standings. Everyone
I'm not worried.
Technically in it.
I set myself up perfectly for what I was going to do next season. I knew what was going to happen to me pretty early on. I got some unexpected wins, but if you look at my draft capital right now,
and you still have a chance to make the playoffs.
I know,
hilarious.
But I really set myself up actually pretty well. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a pat on the back that I've been watching enough trade shows and everything now that I'm actually feeling like I'm actually kind of understanding more or less. And I'm not scared to make these big trades. I'm not now because I see a little bit more value in certain things now. So,
and in the whole dynasty realm, not to sidetrack too much, you kind of see why. You've seen before, obviously, firsthand why everybody's been like, don't trade with Andrew. It's like trading with the devil and stuff like that. It's because you can make these offers to people. And dynasty is a lot better because you can use the aspect of things 3 years from now. Like, if you don't think that I'm not going to be after this season when 2026 picks are literally available, I'm stacking up because Arch Manning is mine. He's mine. And I'm already pre-planning 3 years, 4 years from now.
I'm telling you right now, I am absolutely tanking the 2025 Dynasty League just to get Arch Manning.
More than likely, I'm going to tell you right now before we get back on track, because everybody doesn't want to hear Dynasty. We're voting at the end of this year, and the number one thing we have to vote on is there tanking allowed in the because we have a couple of people who are very upset about it, and they were like, "Listen, if it's just this year, I can understand it, but if it's past this year, I'm going to be a little upset." I'm like, "Totally, we'll probably vote on it." I'm like, "It's probably going to be almost unanimous, where it's just like, fuck that."
Is that where you put it like a salary cap on it?
No.
So
you're purposely going to lose the weeks.
Yeah, so you would just put someone who has a buy-in and stuff like that. So no points would gather, this, that, and everything else.
Yeah.
But as long as you actually, there would be an asterisk that said if you put a player in there, you're fine. You know what I mean? As long as there's a
requirements.
Yeah, minimum requirements are the player has to be playing that week, has to be on the starting roster kind of thing. Can't just be I'm going to fill my roster with Tim Tebow and Rob Gronkowski and all these other guys. It's no, you are not. So.
Oh, I love it. I think we should definitely do that. So talk about the Falcons game. Honestly, it's the same story, different week. We lost 19-16, and to be quite honest with you, I'm not sure if you guys tuned in or not. It was a very winnable game, and that's probably what hurts the most. The Falcons this year are, you know what, I can absolutely say this at this point, are the Detroit Lions of last year. That is what they are. And It's brutal. We've come close to winning every single game, plus or minus. I think a game maybe that we got blown out for, but like it's just stupid. And it's to put it like frankly, how much do we have to see Marcus Mariota intercept in the end zone before we throw in the rookie? I'm baffled at this point. We are going into the bye week, so that is something to be considered. And I do think probably more so than ever, especially with the Bucs being 2 games ahead in the lead. I think we're going to see Ritter play when we come back out of the bye week. I'm expecting that to actually finally happen.
Interesting.
So yeah, I think it's that point now. Really, you got nothing to really lose. At least, it's kind of tough too because I'll talk more about the game, but Arthur Smith is going to be in a very interesting situation because he's not a coach that's on the hot seat right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if this continues and people keep seeing this and the season is just tanked, he honestly might put himself on the hot seat. Unfortunately, that might be the reality of it. But again, that's kind of a stretch. There were some good things in the game, though. I don't want to be all pessimistic. Drake London had his pretty much a career year. Not career year. Game of the year where I believe he had 6 receptions, 95 yards. Marcus, that's not to take away from Marcus Mariota, who I believe was 13 and 28 in his receptions, but yeah, it was really bad. Like he was throwing 13 out of 28. It was brutal. And I think what was happening more along the lines, and I'm hoping this is the scenario, is I think there was a conversation with Arthur Smith and Marcus Mariota being like, "Hey man, everybody's questioning your throwing at this point. You're gonna need to throw this game to prove everybody wrong." And I'm just letting you know right now, if all we see is running plays, then I don't see a reason why we can't play our rookie. Again, I'm stretching this, but seeing how much that Marcus Mariota was throwing this game, it was weird because it was abnormal, right? But yeah, it's tough. Rashawn Evans is still looking beautiful on that D line. He's one of the key shining pieces along Grady Jarrett, so that's nice. Koo made his kick, so I'm happy about that. But again, it was just a decline of Marcus Mariota, another easy winnable week, and that's it. This is the story that we're writing ourselves.
One thing I wanted to say, because we kind of brought it up last week about the Falcons there, where I'm like, they're gonna just keep putting out their best roster kind of thing, knowing very well that they're a good team, but they still need to develop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if you look at it right now, I know that your schedule is not the worst, but not the greatest coming up.
No, this next little bit's pretty tough.
Okay, so you're 5-8, and you're sitting right now, say just pick-wise, with the 10th overall pick. Yep. Carolina is actually playing to win games now under their head coach, which their owner doesn't like, but it's like, well, that sucks to be you. Welcome to the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears, and all of a sudden the Rams and the Broncos being really, really bad. So it's not like you're getting your quarterback anyway. Yeah. Atlanta can definitely get a top 10 pick, and they have the ability to trade up to someone like Philadelphia and stuff like that. Or if they wanted to, there could be another quarterback out there. Because I personally think either the reason with Desmond Ritter is it's the same thing with Tampa Bay is you had Kyle Trask, you brought him through a camp and stuff like that, and you were like, yeah, if we throw him out there, we might kill him in the first season, so let's wait a little bit and this, that, and everything else. Probably has done the same thing too, where he hasn't shown out, or at least the coaches are dedicated to Marcus Mariota.
That's what I'm expecting a little bit. That's what I'm thinking potentially might be the scenario, but
yeah, I think you guys are now more, and I'm not saying this as being the South is mine or anything like that.
No.
I'm saying it more so looking at your roster and just looking at the draft picks you've already had and stuff like that. You guys get a top 7 pick. One of those quarterbacks starts falling, say Bryce Young or whatever. I know you're not sold on Bryce Young, or even Will Levis. If Will Levis falls into your lap at 7, throw Desmond Ritter in next season.
I'll take whatever, honestly, at this point. Anything at this point, I'll take for sure, right?
The top 3s for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But, I already kind of mentioned it to begin with. Stud, I'm going to give it to Drake London. Drake London played phenomenally. As much as the team isn't performing in certain areas, he is doing his job. He has the receptions and everything like that. So, Yeah, I can't say enough about this guy. He's got a bright future. Hopefully, we don't waste talent. I don't want to be one of those teams that goes and wastes a wide receiver's career. So, Drake London is definitely one of the highlights of the year for sure, and he had a great game this game. My dud, enough to be said, Marcus Mariota. I'm not going to sound like a broken record at this point. He's had to have at least had 3 games now this season with interceptions in the end zone, which have been a key final play. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. So, Nichole.
Yes. Studs and duds.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going. So, I mean, there was 2 duds on my list. And I was kind of going back and forth. It was between Alvin Kamara and Ingram. And I got to give it to Ingram. They're both our running backs. And we played a crap shoot of a running back game. I think that we weren't able to find the holes. I mean, Ingram, I do have to say, he carried more than Alvin Kamara. So I gotta give, but the thing is that he did so good. He was doing great. And then fourth quarter came and he ran out of gas on the highway with no gas station in sight. So yeah, it's just strictly because he went out of bounds, and I think it was on a 4th down or a 3rd down, and we didn't get the 1st down because he just decided to, there's no player in front of him. I think it was a miscommunication of I mean, they have those big, huge poles. They're fluorescent. How could you miss that? Maybe you don't got your head in the game. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I do have to say he's a great man because he already started to own up to it. And he said, I'm sorry. I like he knew what he did. All the Saints fans called him out for it. So yeah. My stud is going to be linebacker Demario Davis.
Oh,
yes, he is just a great human being and man.
Got a touchy. You got a touchy that game too.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited also too. I just wanted to let you guys know that the club named him the 2022 Man of the Year, and he's a club nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, presented by Nationwide is on your side.
Wow.
Nationwide is on your side.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
But yeah, he's been great. And I think he's pretty much a mythic legend status to that line. When you see him go in, he goes hard. Really great, strong force of nature.
What would you grade his card? Is he a PSA 10 or a PSA 9?
You know what? With his swag, he's got that armband on it, and he's very noticeable. So I would say he's like a
PSA 8. Let's
PSA, 9.
Oh,
8.
9, yeah.
Well, 9. Yeah. So yeah, that's my Man of the Year and Man of the Day.
Love it. Foobs.
What's up? My studs?
Yeah, who's your guy and who's your not?
Tom Mother effing Brady, baby. Yeah.
Tommy, Mike.
Daddy got another tutty in the 4th quarter. Yeah, I love it.
Turns us.
Tommy, give me that milky milk.
Yeah, Tom Brady once again doing what Tom Brady does. I once upon a time, and I think anybody who's not a Buccaneers fan hates it. So, and I hate that you guys hate my success, and it's just whatever. But it's fun having him. It's fun watching him do it with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it will always bold the question out there that if you have the talent and you allow the person, like if you build something for someone specific and they actually can find a way to get there, you will win, essentially.
Yep.
And that's kind of what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did, is they're like, that offense was built for like a Kurt Warner or a Tom Brady, just someone who has an arm and has the accuracy and just knows what to do within the middle of a game. And you're starting to see that around the league, where a lot of these offenses, they have talent. And like the 49ers everybody keeps throwing him into the Super Bowl conversation, and I agree. And it's because of that offense. And if you told me tomorrow, again, like Tom Brady goes to the 49ers after this season, I would probably put money on the 49ers.
But they have
that
Baker.
Would be intense. What's that?
But they have Baker.
No, they don't.
That's the Rams.
Oh, no, yeah, he went to the Rams. That's
Yeah.
right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he went to the Rams.
That's
and then
right.
My dad, as again, second week in a row, it's Todd Bowles. Fire him. I'm tired of him. I really am. He stands there and he thinks that he's won. Okay? He thinks that he's won. Can they win with Brock Purdy? I think they can win a few games. I think it's going to get to the playoffs. And then if you find out that Mr. Irrelevant can win 2 playoff games, people are going to start drafting quarterbacks in like the 1st, the 4th, and the 7th round.
Not to digress, but is Trey Lance out for the season?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are both season-ending injuries at this point.
Yeah, well, Garoppolo's was 7 to 8 weeks, and they suspected that he could possibly make it back in the playoffs.
Yep. He may return.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't halt the wheels on that. I would be heavily searching and making a deal right now, considering where the Niners are sitting in their division.
They can't though. Trade deadline is already passed, so that's why.
Well, free agency, you can pick up free agents. Can you
now?
Not?
Okay, so think about this. Out of all the free agents that were available, right? Carolina goes and releases Baker Mayfield. It goes in reverse order of the standings. That's who gets first priority, right?
Yep.
So if you think about this, because Alex brought this up at work, and I was like, oh my goodness gracious, you son of a gun, you probably figured it out. He goes to the Rams.
Yep.
The Rams are in the same division as the 49ers.
Yep.
All the Rams have to do in order to kind of kibosh any Baker Mayfield going to the 49ers, any reliable quarterback going to the 49ers, is pay his contract, which the Rams ended up having. So in a way, the Rams were just like, nah, you're not, your season doesn't get saved like that. You can go find Blake Bortles. You can go find any of those guys kind of thing, but you do not get to have Baker Mayfield after you've had Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. They're like, nah, we'll pay the I think it was $1.3 or $1.4 million for his base
just
salary.
So they don't get him. Just so they don't get him.
Yep. And I would do the same damn thing if I was. And Nichole, I think if we were both owners of the Bucs and the Saints, we would do the same damn thing. I'd wake up in the morning and be like, what's the waiver wire? This is the waiver wire.
How do I crap on them today?
Yeah. What do the Saints need? Are they still in the playoff hunt? What do they need? Well, Dalton got hurt, and Baker Mayfield would be like, nope, Baker's now behind Tom Brady. So don't care.
What about like Mitchell Trubisky, or what about
still under contract with Pittsburgh?
Is he? Okay, yeah. So you know what? I know this was like a lot of rumor and like heavy rumor mill, but I hear Mr. Colin Kaepernick wants to play.
I joked about that too, and I was like, there ain't no way in hell the 49ers would even sniff that. They probably got asked that one time, and they were like, we're good with Brock Purdy.
Well, he was number 1 jersey sales for a while there.
Oh, hell yeah, he was.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I think something's definitely going to happen there, but you mentioned my guy already, Foobs, Mr. Thomas Brady. Thomas with the cherry on top. Thomas. But yeah, no, he again once proved to be Tom Brady, even in his declining season, and he beat the Saints, and I know that's honestly comparable to a Super Bowl win for the Buccaneers. So, well, realistically, it is any big divisional game like that. Like that's bragging rights. So, yeah, kudos to Tom Brady, especially with 3 seconds left on the clock. That is nuts.
It is hilarious. It is hilarious that Chris, like Warstruck, our good friend, he goes into the one chat that we have, and he goes, Andrew, he's like, Andrew must be having a rough night. He goes, there's just one team that Andrew cannot stand losing to right now, and it's the Saints. And then it was kind of like, I even sat there too, and I was just like, I really do hate losing to the Bruins too. But then I really thought about it, and I was like, nah, it's really, really close. Man, I really hate losing to the Saints. So I was yeah, I agree.
Yeah, losing to the Bruins, oh my god, and especially in hockey with don't even get me on a tangent right now with the Oilers. Like, I'm like, at my wit's end. I know we're talking about like football, but this is hockey. But like Jeff Skinner's just so good. And it cannot be any more clearly evident that defense is our problem. Like I don't understand if I need to go and finger paint the picture and send it to Ken Holland. If he wants to, to do arts and craftsy time with me, and we'll sit down in a dark room because I need a timeout, and be like, Mr. Holland, here you go. It's the defense. Here's the fingers. Like, this is what's going on.
Honestly, and again, to all of our viewers, sorry for a quick second, but I've said this, that there's people that the Oilers should go after and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Arizona has been dangling Jacob Chikrin for a long time.
Look what we got. Look.
Yeah.
We got him.
Okay, so what do you want? It's just like, I want a first round pick. Okay, that's fine. As long as, was it Dylan Holloway? Is Dylan Holloway playing good? Is he playing like an NHL player?
I'm not gonna exactly.
No, he's not.
I'm not kicking tires on Dylan Holloway though.
Okay, so if that be the case, I would be like the Oilers and like everybody else. Be like, if all my players get injured this season, I want to keep this pick just in case I have a shot at Connor Bedard, blah, blah, blah. So you can have the next first overall pick. You can have a second pick. You can have Dylan McLeod, and then you can go into my prospect pool, Ryan McLeod, and then you can go into my prospect pool and pick out like something. But then all of a sudden you put Nurse and Chikrin, and it's like, let's go to the Stanley Cup, boys. Let's go.
Yeah. There's a few people on the market, absolutely. But yeah, no, we'll have to save that for another show. Honestly, I could go on about this for like a long time. So, one of you. So let's go the opposite way. Mr. Faubert, who is your Be Humble? What do you got? What do you got in your mouth? Got some Saints?
It can't happen.
Sorry, I'm having a late supper. It's actually a turkey club. It's really good.
Oh, that sounds good.
But be humble.
Take your time.
I would like to be humble to the New Orleans Saints fans for a moment.
Okay.
Because I understand. I understand what it's like to have Dirk Cutters. And I understand what it's like to have Lovie Smiths. And I understand what it's like to just to go through absolute drastic effing change that just doesn't make sense whatsoever when you have at least some good talent on the field to put out. And I just said, like, I just say I'm humble because I see what Nichole is finally saying with this coaching staff. And I kind of agree with her. Whereas much as I always want to see the Saints go like 0-17 for the rest of my life, just like I never want to see the Maple Leafs win a cup until I die.
We don't talk about that.
Exactly.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah, exactly. That at the same time, it does not feel good. It does not look good that this team's talent is currently sitting at 4-8. It does not make sense that Dennis Allen, if he was the rightful heir to lead this team after Sean Payton, there's absolutely no way in hell that him and his leadership, because that goes on him and the GM too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd just be no effing way whatsoever that Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton, someone's going to clip this and use this against me in like 7 years. Two very proven quarterbacks who have gone to not only Pro Bowls, but have gone to playoffs, at least with Andy Dalton. Jameis never did, and have thrown for 5,000 yards. They know how to read systems. Could you please, for the love of God, help these Saint fans actually see a good team perform? Yep. I don't understand how Dennis Allen can't do it. And I know some people are going to be like, and you're supposed to be humble. Don't take shots. I'm not taking shots.
No, that's fine.
I'm actually joining a lot of other Saints fans.
Understanding this.
Yeah,
yes.
Like I'm understanding of this. I've been there before as a Buccaneers fan with some of these coaches. I understand the pain. And listen, I don't feel good seeing the Saints like this either.
There's a lot of fans revolting right now with the coaches, and I know it's hard to live up to Sean Payton, but it is also too, and being like, I don't know. It's sad to be a Saints fan, but thank you for being humble.
Not a problem.
My humble moment. Okay. It's gonna go a little bit like this. Okay, you ready?
Yep, let's go.
Okay. Gimme more. Gimme more. I'm trying to be Britney Spears. Gimme more. So yeah, DJ Moore, bam, ba, bam, 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 from the South Carolina Panthers. Number 2, wide receiver. So yeah, he got a touchdown in the game. And also too, like there's some pretty good stats coming out from him. Oh, now you got in my humble moment.
Oh. Getting too excited. Yeah. Getting way too excited here.
Yeah, you're DJ Moore. I gotta tell you, man, great. He did. He had a total of 103 yards, and his average was 25.8 yards a carry. So I mean, that's huge. I also wanted to shed some light on him that he's the only NFL wide receiver with at least 12,000 scrimmage yards in each of his last 3 seasons. This is a stat from last year, I know, but still pretty amazing. And in his franchise, he's joined Steve Smith Sr. and Greg Olsen as only players with three straight 1,000 yards receiving seasons. So, yeah, got to give him props. You got a good dude on your team, man.
No, absolutely. He balled out. But you know what? Mr. Sean Spencer, I want to hear your thoughts on this week. I want to hear what happened. I want to see that. I want to hear the highlights. I want to hear it all. But before we get to you, my friend, I want to shed some light on some commercials and stuff that we got going on. So right now we got the round table going on, and they're covering probably a lot that's going on this week. So if you haven't heard of them, here they are. That's the round table going on right now. Tuesdays, I believe. What you start at? What is it? 8 p.m.
Yeah, 8:30 Central. Just ended.
Just ended. Beautiful. Yeah, with Nick Rosario, Delilah Crespo, all big Chicago Bears fans. Unfortunately, just kidding. No shots fired. and my man, Mr. Handy, you know, the NFC South represents. So yeah, if you haven't checked them out, they're all awesome people. They love interacting with the crowd and stuff like that. So no, they're all good. But Mr. Sean,
yes,
it's been a while, man. It's good to see that beautiful face.
So glad to be back with you.
My midnight snack, my dude. Let me know.
Okay. Elephant in the room. There always seems to be quarterback issues in Carolina.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield. Sent him, a sale, bon voyage. He now is with the Rams, who incidentally have a worse record than us. So I don't know if
we
that's
touched
better
on that. Did you catch that, by the way?
Right. Yeah, I thought that a little bit. Yeah. So that's one thing. But shout out to DJ Moore, because he was saying he talked to Baker before he left, and Baker obviously nobody wants to get moved, especially when you just got brought in that year. Then this is just a laundry list of guys that is leaving. I had a clip that I was going to play a couple weeks back where it was CMC and Robbie Anderson when the 49ers and the Cardinals played. You just see them both high-fiving each other, and I can just imagine them being like, "You got out of Carolina? Oh, me too, buddy. Yeah, good job, buddy." Good job. Like, I just, they both got out. Now Baker is out with the Rams and everything. Look, we still have pieces. We were able to get the W a couple weeks ago against the Broncos. I don't know if that's saying so much because of how much they've been struggling all year, but it still was a W. We have a couple of matchups. this season could end decent for us. I mean, somehow, some way, we're not out of the hunt. I mean, maybe the playoff hunt, but I don't know. Look, shout out to all of the guys. Shout out to this guy down here because I was ready. I was ready in the comments, and then as soon as they hit that 4-minute mark, it was just, hey, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I don't know if anybody else has covered it in this week. Has anybody else said Tom Brady the GOAT for their humble?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, you
go,
did.
No, you can go ahead.
Go
That's
for
fine.
it.
That's fine.
Oh, please go right ahead.
Oh, please, let me sip my milk, my Tommy milk.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Not to add on any accolades that he doesn't already have. We already know he's sitting on a mountain of them. But look, we could be here all day and all night reading all the facts and the stats and X, Y, and Z. But when it comes down to it, if you have $1 million to play for the rest of your life and you need somebody with 3 minutes to play on the clock,
that's your guy.
You get Tom Brady. Period. He's just the greatest. Like, he's the greatest. I can't even argue it. But you know what? I will slide over. Since somebody did say that, I will shout out your linebacker, Levante David. Is he okay? Because I know he had got hurt towards the end of the game.
I think he's going to be okay. I haven't actually seen any updates on that today, but that is something that I did actually want to check and I had forgotten about. So thank you for that.
Yeah, he played an outstanding game, 12 total tackles. 10 of them were solo tackles. He had a sack. I think he had like a forced fumble or something. I'm sorry, I'm just catching up to a lot of this stuff, but
all good.
I mean, played absolutely amazing. And I watched that game, and the thing about it was, if you looked at it from a certain angle, it's like, oh, well, here we go again. Like I'm sure all of you said. The Saints are just running. The Saints have their number. We talked about that on Let's Talk Football yesterday. They continue to have their number, but I don't know. I mean, that defense held them to a certain point.
Yep.
And I don't mean to do this. I know I love that, you're on so many different shows and you're with us today, Nichole, but the name of the game last night was missed opportunities.
I know.
Because those 3 field goals should have been 3 touchdowns. At the very least, 1 or 2 of them should have been it. You got the Landry where he tries to go for the one-handed catch instead of putting 2 hands on it where he could have got in. You got the one that they caught it short and Taysom couldn't get the first down and they had the kick. Dalton played a decent game, but that defense for the Buccaneers, absolutely led by Levante David, it just kept them in the game.
Sean, isn't like kind of tie into what you're saying? Is that not really like the theme of the NFC South is missed opportunities? In all fairness, that's all I've really seen, right? It's missed opportunities on the Falcons. It's the Bucs depleted O-line from injuries. It's QB troubles with Carolina and New Orleans Saints. Like literally, that is the theme of the year in the NFC South is missed opportunities.
Well, look, at the end of the day, I mean, look, you're right. And I got to say this because I didn't get the opportunity to say it. I'm not going to come here and gloat. I know I got the Falcon up here next to me. We did get the W, but I'm going to be honest with you. You didn't lose that game because of Marcus Mariota. You lost that game because of play calling. Look, in my opinion, Marcus Mariota was running all over us. Cordero Patterson, Hyler Algier, these guys were running all over us. The fact that you guys ran 2 pass plays on the goal line, it didn't make sense to me. It did because even the play before the first pass, we tried to get him in the backfield. Marcus Mariota broke out of that. I mean, I thought he should have just ran it. Like I don't get. But look, it's right. Missed opportunities have definitely been the name of the game. We are 4-8. We could very easily, at least be where you guys 5-7, 5 and some of that number. But I got to shout it out. I'm being humble. Shout all hail to my guy, Mr. NSD, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was one of the ones that had the stake and was ready to put it in. But
sorry, I was yep. Everybody. Everybody. You know how many times I looked at my phone when we were down 16-3, and I'm like, And I was going to say this first. I see Nichole's name, and she wasn't even chirping. I just literally see the first thing I saw in the group chat was Nichole, and that's what got me. I was just like, you know what? Everyone's getting it tonight if we come back from this. Every single person. Every last one. I'm like, why is Chris, of all people right now, on my side? I'm like, out of everybody right now, Chris is like, oh, Andrew really hates this. It's like, no duh, buddy. No duh.
I knew I'd be eating my words as soon as I posted my little picture.
Oh, that's right. You got to be careful.
Oh,
As soon as I
the
said it,
NFL goes.
as soon as I bet $20, I knew. I'm like, I shouldn't have wrote it down. I shouldn't have wrote it down.
Wait, hold on. What's first of all, you're a gambler too, aren't you?
So at work, I've been betting quite a bit. I'm actually like 8-2 in my bets at work. So.
Okay, well, we're gonna add like I'm gonna add you to the gamblers chat. That's like
Sure.
a bunch of us were just like we throw picks in there and stuff like that. Which if you guys want to let me know and stuff like that.
Yes.
But like, yeah, okay, I'll throw you literally here in a second. But that in there, Sid had put a picture of a parlay that said under 41 points, which I kind of said was probably gonna happen. I'm like, more than likely that's gonna happen. But it was Saints money line. And I'm like, you son of a guy. And he put it in there like halfway through the fourth or like right at the beginning of the fourth period. And I'm like, I hope they come back, boy. Oh, I'm gonna come with receipts. So yeah, it was a fun roller coaster of emotions yesterday, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Actually, and it's funny, our next topic, I'm gonna skip around a little bit, is red alert position. So Sean, you kind of mentioned about Marcus Mariota and how you think play calling is a contributing factor. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tough because like I don't disagree with you by any means, especially with us playing the Commanders and the Steelers and seeing the same result, literally the same ending, just rewritten twice. But at the same time, like I'm gonna give, especially watching the Steelers and how he played in the Steelers, Marcus Mariota was 13 out of 28. That is undeniably a bad rating for a quarterback in completion rates. Like there's no questions. There's no sugarcoating it. Like that is just plain crap, right? And to be honest with you, even looking at where some of the people were, like the opens, even with like Drake London a couple times, Nichole Pruitt as well. Like there was targets that he could have thrown to, but why are you throwing it directly dead center in the red zone when teams are going to be wanting you to do that? It doesn't make any sense. Like even as a quarterback, you got to be like, hey man, no, I'm not doing this. Like, no, I'm not. Like that's not a proper play. That's not good, right? So no, I do give you credit, but I don't know. I can't get off that Marcus Mariota train. It's got to change. It really does. But my red alert position, surprisingly, is not quarterback. I do think we really need a quarterback, but I still don't know what we have in Desmond Ridder. Red alert positions that the Falcons really need is we need more defensive help. Like we shouldn't be allowing these points. I think it would be nice to have another edge rusher. I think we're starting to kind of shape up on the defensive end. And also, I didn't really think of this at the beginning of the season, but I think we need some cornerback help. I wouldn't mind like potentially spending like a second or a third round pick on a cornerback. Maybe wide receiver as well in the second or a third round, but it is shaping up to be a little bit nice. I do like the fact that we did add Drake London. It would be nice to get another top wide receiver as well. But if I'm going to give a top three potentially, I'm thinking right now, number one is going to be either an edge rusher or some kind of defensive tackle would be nice. Number two for me, I would say probably would be I would say the cornerback. And number three, I'm going to be bold with this, but I'm going to say I would like another guard, an interchangeable guard that can play left and right. I think that would be nice, especially with the kind of inconsistency with Caleb McGarry. And I don't think we have anything to worry about. I think Lindstrom is the other guard. We don't really have to worry about him. But what's up?
I was going to say this right now because Sean will know exactly what I'm talking about too. If your Falcons – for some odd reason just said, we ain't doing quarterback this year, we'll figure it out either with Marcus or Desmond next year kind of thing. If it doesn't work, we'll go in the 2024 draft, which would also work for you because you'll be there kind of thing. So that'd be awesome.
Yep.
But you imagine if Atlanta all of a sudden is sitting there, even at the 10th overall pick, and the Atlanta Falcons select Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from the Georgia Bulldogs. You want to talk about culture and franchise change?
I think he's gone in top 3, though. That's my honest opinion, but that's just me.
Well, his talent is worth top 3. It's like when the Jets a few years ago took Quinnen Williams. I think that's the guy's name, right? The defensive tackle at 3. And everyone was like, what are you doing? You have so many other needs. It's like, yeah, have we heard anything about the Jets' interior defensive line since then? Exactly. Not a damn word. So that's why I agree with you. I think Jalen Carter's talent already is like top 3. But oh my God, if everyone starts going on the wide receiver and quarterback train and the Atlanta's sitting there at 8 or 9 and if he's just falling and stuff, I'd cry for you because I'd all of a sudden have to deal with him for the next how long, and him wanting to change the culture as a Falcon. Oh, right. Man. Oh,
I would love it.
No thanks.
It would be like the Kenny Pickett situation. You know, he's literally going across the street.
Yep.
Staying at home to play them. And then what does that do? Just like we have in college, there's a pipeline. Now all of a sudden, Jalen Carter's talking about getting the boys back in college. It's like, yo, come over here. Just stay at home and let's handle this.
My God. Especially with the Bulldogs potentially going too shy. I'm gonna be bold right now. Bulldogs are taking it all. Like it's hard to not think that.
If Alex was watching this show, he just turned it off.
That's fine. I think the Wolverines are amazing. But I'm gonna tell you right now, regardless of how amazing of a season the Wolverines are having, the Bulldogs are on a different level.
No, it's going to be difficult for them, and I agree. Even Alex at work, I think he's taken upon himself to do what I did when the Buccaneers had their run there. He's like, I ain't saying nothing because I brought up the Jim Harbaugh stuff. I was just like, look here, he's gonna go play for your Detroit Lions or something like that, right? He's gonna go do this, and he's just like, no.
Michigan is the Wolverines.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Alex loves the Spartans. Every time you see Alex, I want you to say "Go Green," please.
You need to.
They're rival. They're rival.
Too.
They've called them little brother. That's the green and the white. That's who my fiance loves. She went there. So it's very.
She's a State fan?
Oh, she loves State. We went to a game. We went to the
I saw pictures.
Yeah.
I thought she was Wolverine. I didn't know she was State.
No, she's State, man. I see her in green.
This is for exactly. That's a whole other thing that I don't even try to think about it. I don't even try to. But I mean, look, you could also say how are me and Janae best friends because she is not shy about her hatred for Washington.
I saw a little bit of that show. She was waiting. She showed up early. She had notes. She was all ready to go.
She's like, I was waiting for you on this one. I was waiting. But so Kat was born in Howell, Michigan. She grew up, and so she just coming of age was around she was in school around the early 90s when 97 Woodson won it all, and so she was a huge Michigan fan, and so then she goes to Michigan State, and that first year she had all Michigan stuff, and people were sitting there like, you can't do that.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So then eventually she changed over.
Like they say in Mean Girls, you can't sit with us.
Yeah, you can. I love it. But Sean, I just want to hear more of your voice. What's your red alert positions for the Carolina Panthers?
Let's see. What's the number one position that's had the most turnover, even in just this year? Quarterback. Period. Sorry, I don't think we can even think about it. But outside of that, we need to protect our investment. We need to get a line. We have a suspect offensive line. We need to shore up that offensive line. So quarterback, O-line. And then my other place is depth. We need depth at linebacker. We need depth at wide receiver. DJ Moore can't be the only one doing this thing. You got to think, a couple years back, he has Robbie Anderson. He has Curtis Samuel, who came over to Washington. He has help, and now he doesn't have a quarterback. He doesn't have – what other receivers does he have? You know what I mean? I was sitting there looking at y'all play yesterday and hearing all year about Shaheed. Now I'm like, dang, we might need to see if he wants to come over here because that guy can ball. Can ball out, man. But I mean, hey. But honestly, it's quarterback. Everybody knows we're going for that early and often. If we get somebody big, If we can get somebody later, I know we've talked Will Levis on here and what he could potentially bring to the table. You know what I mean? We need quarterback, period. We need somebody that we're going to put in, let him play, but we need to build up around him because if we bring a quarterback into the same situation we have right now, it's not going to help. It's not. Yeah. It's going to be the same BS we're dealing with right now. So we need a quarterback, but even still, we still don't have a coach. I mean, Wilkes, shout out to him. He's a great guy. He's been around, but I don't think they're going to keep him going forward. So we still got to figure that part out first. Then you got to figure out, okay, now you got a quarterback. So we got a lot of stuff on the agenda in this off season. But yeah, number one is quarterback. But for me, also O-line. O-line for sure, man. I mean, even if we had somebody that I could be like, you know what, this guy, PJ Walker, Darnold, somebody that I'm like, all right, put him in. And this build up around him, kind of like what I'm thinking in Washington. Let's build up the team around him. So then when our quarterback potentially comes in 2024, or if it's Sam Howell or whoever it is, we'll be ready. He's not coming on the team with the intention to save him like Fitzpatrick did and like Wentz did this year. You know what I mean? Let's build up around him. Build like you were talking about the culture. Let's build the culture. And we need line. We need O-linemen and solidify the depth on defense. So those are two other ones.
I have one quick question, just like for Shot in general. How happy, like in words, if you could ever explain it, how happy would you be if Sam Howell led the Commanders to an actual like Super Bowl? Like that would just literally be like the literal like golden cherry on top, wouldn't it?
I'm looking to see if I can find my shipping because I already got the Sam Howell jersey, so I'm already prepared for the day. Okay, all right?
I love it.
Being nice to the GOAT. He's letting the GOAT retire. So as soon as the GOAT retires, the GOAT in training, because he got to raise up. I'm ready. No, I would love it, man. You know it. I've been following him. I got my Tar Heel stuff on.
Yeah, you do.
Nichole, for you to know, Sam Howell is the quarterback of Washington. He played at the University of North Carolina, which is my favorite school. And he played there from his freshman year all the way through. A lot of guys, they normally don't get to start till maybe their junior or senior year unless they're great. He started immediately as a freshman and played all 4 years. Yeah. So there's a lot of talent, but he didn't get taken to the 5th round. I don't want him in there right now because obviously we still got some stuff that we need to figure out, especially on that daggone O-line. But dude, you know it, man. You followed your team, and when you have a pick that you watched all the way through college, and then the improbable happens where he comes on your team, it's just man. Like, how good can it get? You know what I mean? It's just like, come on. So I'm gonna taper it down, but it would be a dream come true. Yeah.
I love it. I guess with that respect, Andrew, red alert positions for the Bucs. I'm honestly very curious.
Oh, buddy. Oh my God. Okay. So many people say so many different things, and there's literally only one answer. It's the left tackle position. Donovan Smith has to go. The most penalized player, not the most penalized team, the most penalized player is the dude who literally has to sit there and keep Tom Brady alive. That is not good. Not good at all. I mean, we traded out of the 1st round last year to get another edge rusher, and I haven't even seen him. The only thing that he has done newsworthy is take Ryan Jensen out in training camp. That is not good. Okay, like there's so many other good left tackles that have fallen in the draft that I would just love to have as a backup at some point, but we decided like, nah, we've already got Hall of Fame talent Ali Marpet that retired. We don't need to go for offensive line anymore. Like it's not easy to watch this anymore. The other one that I would say though too, kind of like what David Wright is saying, is I need a new head coach. I'm not sold on Todd Bowles. It was a bold decision. It was a Bowles decision at the beginning of the year to go with him because he hasn't necessarily had success, and everyone was like, well, he never really had the proper quarterback or the proper situation in New York. I mean, first of all, yes, I understand it's New York. But second of all, you don't just get handed a Super Bowl hangover team and expect to start doing good unless you have the same exact mentality and coaching stability that Bruce Arians had. His risk it, no biscuit mentality that is literally missing. And you finally saw them kind of grasp at it in the last 3 minutes. It was like they finally realized what they were playing for. And when that was all said and done, they looked at each other and like, that's right. We won a effing Super Bowl, didn't we? Right. Like, holy cow. Like, man, we had to go through these guys to do it. So, like, I'm biting my tongue on how good I think we're going to be from the rest of here on and stuff like that. But, yeah, no. Left tackle, new head coach. That's really basically about it, besides obviously, like, give me a left tackle, and I think our guards would be completely fine. So
what's your third quarterback?
It makes sense because I do think we are losing Brady after this year. I have a sneaking suspicion that they probably would throw in Kyle Trask just to kind of have like in a weird way, like if he doesn't succeed, oh, would you look at that? We're in the Caleb Williams running. Oh no. No. Mm-hmm. Whoops. All of a sudden, if he starts winning, it's like, hey, look at that. I took a 3rd round quarterback from Florida leading the Florida team. So both narratives I'm totally okay with, respectively. So, yeah, I would say quarterback. Yeah, I'll throw quarterback in this my 3rd.
I like it. Nichole.
Hi.
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 Hello. All right. So red alert. New secret lair alert. There's a new lair in New Orleans, and we're looking for you. Come down. We're hiring for the quarterback position. Yes. I'm gonna start going down to New Orleans and just putting up posters myself.
Why not?
Come here.
Missing
I'm
reward.
Like, QB, have you seen him? Have you seen? So I'm gonna make my way right now all the way, and I'm gonna walk myself down there. No, QB position for sure. Andy Dalton, I do like him, and he looks really great in the retro colors. Don't get me wrong. That flair. And he is starting to jive. I could see a little bit jiving.
I thought you were going to say ginging. I was about to die.
Jiving. He's gyrating around the end zone. I want him to do good. It's either that, and I think last game, I really want a good QB. Next up is going to be, can we just think about, Sean Payton?
Oh,
Payton,
head coach
Payton,
for a second time.
Payton,
Wow.
Peyton Manning as our coach.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm gonna do what you're doing right now. Falcons Super Bowl. Falcons Super Bowl.
Don't work that way.
Sean Peyton Manning. That's, I would just love it. If you're listening, Sean Payton, we have a hiring, they're hiring, trust me, for the new head coach. I think we need something, we need a star class person, a celebrity. I think we need some magic to make some magic happen. I think we need a high level, something that brings a star quality that we've been missing from Sean Payton and Drew Brees. I think we need to pay something, and it needs to be risky and juicy.
I love it.
And that's all I got.
I love it.
As long as Sean Payton doesn't go to Dallas, we're good.
Yeah. No kidding. I don't want to see
David.
That. But, my God. But ladies and gentlemen, our next segment, Discoveries. You got one job to click on the one commercial. And you somehow still manage to click on the wrong one. So you know what? I'll call myself out. I did that. But here we are. So That's not my discovery. I'm just letting you know. My discovery, though, does have to actually, in fact, deal with losses. Did you know that the New York Jets have never in history beat the Philadelphia Eagles?
Ooh,
Never in history.
wow. Really?
Yep. I know, right? That's what I said. I'm like, interesting. I'm like, that's something else. I never knew that.
It's the green and green.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Jets and Eagles can't fly in the same sky.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though. I can't believe that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I saw that earlier, and I'm like, yeah, I'm saving that one. So, and no, David, my discovery is not the correct button. I am still looking for the spot. But Nichole, discoveries.
I discovered that there's awards given out to people that do really, really good. And my feature is the Walter Payton Sean Payton Manning NFL Man of the Year Award. I'm really putting it in the universe there, okay? But the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award is presented annually by the National Football League, honoring a player's commitment to philanthropy and community impact, as well as his excellence on the field. I think it's one of the best awards to go to show that community is so huge, especially nowadays in reaching out to help the others around you, and in sharing basically, the success with others that are less fortunate. Also, too, with the philanthropy part, I always like to think of sometimes success doesn't have to have a monetary gain or a value to it, that it can actually be more so the humanitarian cause and just looking out for your fellow human. So yeah, each year a winner is selected from the 32 nominees. Every team gets to nominate someone. So I even think that even being a nominee is a huge attribute to your resume. And as well, if you do get traded, where you can also bring something off the field to, your new home team. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I guess apparently, yeah. The other 31 finalists also received donations in their name of 50 grand each to charities of their choice. So
that's wicked. I like that. That was a good one, Nichole. That was really good. Foobs. Give me a Foobs discovery.
I have just discovered that Nichole is probably one of the smartest flipping New Orleans Saint fans out there. So let's like
I love it.
Sean Payton Manning, okay? Okay.
I felt like that got you.
No, it did. The second that she said Peyton Manning to the New Orleans Saints, I literally made a look and I was like, no. And then I literally stopped and I'm like, whose dad played there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, and yep. Not even just that. Let's look at it from away from like a major football sense. Who was in the running to buy the Denver Broncos? Peyton and Eli.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you really break it down on NFL teams that are for sale, we keep talking about the Washington Commanders because of Jeff Bezos, and that just seems to be like the easiest way to build like an NFL franchise in Madden kind of thing, because it would make sense. I can literally just give you $10 billion tomorrow. Here you go, kind of thing. But at the end of the day, the city of New Orleans has had an issue with keeping their basketball fans around. Not only that, the team.
Yep.
Because they've had to sell the rights of the Hornets back to the city of Charlotte. So then they became the Pelicans. They have always been in the running for a hockey team, but have never actually done it. Yep. And yet they still have one of the biggest football fan bases out there. One of the biggest faces of the South for football for the longest time has been Peyton. So for me, it seems, so what I've been doing is kind of going over like coaching and stuff like that. And one of the names that keeps popping up as president and player personnel for some of these teams in the offseason is Alex's man, Jim Caldwell, who happened to be one of Peyton's coaches. So so what I'm basically like, what I'm saying is like, like so many different things would have to happen. But I mean, if for some odd reason Peyton could buy the New Orleans Saints, because they are one, and I'm not taking shots at them, I'm more saying they are on the higher spectrum of revenue teams because of their colors. They're kind of like the New Age Raiders, I guess you would say, is that fleur-de-lis is worldwide. And the fact that if they can do this before the 2026 season, and if they can get everything together, they could have the biggest chance of pulling an Eli Manning with Arch Manning, where he just turns around and says, I'm going to New Orleans.
Let me do what my dad couldn't do. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Wow.
That's bold. I like it.
So that's why the second that she said that, I just looked over the side. I'm like, this don't make any sense. And then my mind started doing what I do at NSD, where I do the mock draft and the whole outside. I'm like, shoot, Nichole's kind of got a Sean Peyton Manning, because Sean Payton set up the franchise to never want to fail like that again. And if ownership and GMs and stuff like that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, someone who would set the record straight, just like someone's doing for Colorado, in the same type of mannerism that he approaches things, Mr. Peyton Manning.
Exactly.
So it just, Nichole, I'm that's a very smart take, because you even got me, like, I got my notes out here, and when the show is done, I'm gonna be like, all right, who else is close to this situation?
Look, she's playing chess and we're playing checkers over here.
Yeah,
like, I'm going to bet snap and bet on head coaches, or
yeah, what's the future bets on that?
No, just hugs.
I like that. David's like, so the Manning family is gonna buy the Saints. I like it. Honestly, I'm now having this thing that if all these franchises and the possible expansion is coming up and stuff like that, the Paytons could, in a way, get a deal with the New Orleans Saints, because they're kind of royalty in there. The Saints wouldn't want to move their franchise out of there. They wouldn't want to have an expansion team close to them like Austin or something like that. So all of a sudden you can push all that news away if the Mannings come into town, and the Mannings own that little blip, which is the Texas border, and everything on the other side of it.
Mm. Well, putting those feelers out there in the universe.
All right, Mr. Sean Spencer, what's your discovery, my friend?
Mine's not as exciting. Since we are doing all teams and everything, those of you that watched football this last weekend, there's a lot of wins, there's a lot of loses, but there was only one tie. I found out, my discovery is that not only has the tie happened before and with the same team, but it happened 15 years prior, almost to the date, the same day. We tied with the New York Giants in 2006, something like that. We tied with them. And it was a game where our quarterback, Gus Frerotte, he was our guy, and then he decides to headbutt the wall of the stadium, jams his neck, and then is out for the rest of the year. I didn't realize two teams could be so alike. But as we saw on this weekend, we are absolutely alike. And I didn't realize that we tie again, but apparently that's what we do. We tie. So that was crazy.
Anyone want to take that?
That's right. That was right after the game too. Right after AJ Brown did what he did to him.
I bet you any money their new GM is already there coaching the Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vrabel will become the new GM, because all the reports are coming out. Like, Vrabel did not want to trade AJ Brown, and we all knew. Actually, sorry, let me rephrase that. I actually totally was blind. I was like, I should have known this. Duh. This is his first game going back against Tennessee. Should have done the anytime touchdown scorer. Like, duh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel that. I definitely feel that. Yeah. So I guess I love this week. This has been a good one. But we're gonna go to our last segment quickly. Projections. Projections. I'm gonna start off because it's easy. I gotta buy.
Yeah.
I gotta buy. I gotta buy. But no, you know what?
Goodbye.
We need it. We absolutely need it.
That was
Honestly,
good.
they I think Desmond Ritter needs a little bit of extra time to practice before he makes his appearance in week 15. So
Mm.
yep. Let's go clockwise. Sean, who you play? What's your projection?
We play the 7-5 Seahawks.
Ooh.
As a fan of both Carolina and Washington, I'm speaking from Washington. Let's go Carolina, because Seattle is currently the 7th seed, and if Washington on the bye could get up, but then Philly plays the Giants, but that's them. But we play the Seahawks, who I believe did they take an L last week?
Yeah, they're whatchamacallit? They're in the last wild card spot currently right now.
Oh, they won. They beat the Rams.
Yeah,
they beat the Rams. So, which still isn't saying much, but yeah, they are in the last wild card spot. We have to play them at Seattle, I believe. They have a 75% chance to win. It looks like they're favored,
especially at home.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna play up to them. I honestly think we're gonna play up to them, and we might be able to get the upset, but they're playing for a playoff spot right now, and clearly we're playing for next year. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna say Seattle is gonna win this one, 24-13.
Nice.
If it's Sam Darnold in there, I just don't know. I mean, Seattle is not a bad team, and like I said, they're playing for something. Carolina is kind of like shipping out a guy that you just signed prior to the season. Before the season's over, it's just kind of like we're throwing our hands up. So, yeah. I just don't think it's going to be as easy as that. I don't think it's going to be this blowout, because of the fact that the Seahawks, they need to win, but at the same time, they that last game, I understand they won against the Rams, but the Rams ain't anything to write home about. So it's gonna be interesting. We'll see which Carolina team shows up. But I got Seattle winning, but I got them winning like 24-13.
I like it. Nice. I think that's very possible. Andrew,
What?
What's your projections, my dude?
I can't remember if I'm playing the
49ers.
It is the 49ers. So I'm scared of this game. For betting wise, this is actually one of my favorite weeks, I guess you would say, because there's a lot of underdog money to be made, including my Buccaneers. How dare they put my Buccaneers as an underdog to Mr. Flippin' Irrelevant? I'm sorry. Did you not just see what I did to the New Orleans Saints? No,
can I say something quickly though? So he might be Mr. Irrelevant, but you guys were irrelevant for the first 3 quarters.
Damn rights. Guess who showed up in the last 3 minutes, buddy? Why do you think I'm a Bucs fan? That's all I need, buddy. It's 3 minutes, and I get it done. I win. That's it. So my whole thing is I know it's gonna be a good game. I'm really hoping, and it's just for this game, Brock. I really hope that you get kind of like shell shocked by the fact that Todd Bowles does do very good against very new quarterbacks. So if Antoine Winfield and a couple of those guys can be a lot more healthier, then I'll be okay. Obviously, again, just nervous that we're playing a no-name quarterback. I don't like playing quarterbacks that we don't have tape on, because the guy can all of a sudden just pick it up and start running, and we'd be like, he's not supposed to do that.
Right.
He's not supposed to do that. Okay. So yeah, I still think we win. I think it's going to be 24. We get over 23 points. 24-23. I think we'd have to kick a field goal at the end of the game to win it, but I still think we got it.
I like it. Yeah. You know what? That's very possible. I could definitely see that happening.
So purdy.
We saved the best for last, Nichole.
You know what just happened here is that we did so bad against those Bucs that We had so many penalties. The refs put us in a corner and said, "Timeout.
Oh,
You get to sit down this week." We did so bad. So yeah, we're gonna do a bye. We're gonna sit out, and then we're gonna go against you, good sir. So
Who?
EP phone home. That
Me?
guy right there in the corner. Or wait,
I go right to the
Oh.
corner. Oh,
yes.
All right.
Stop it. You just stop it.
Yeah. And my question is though, our buy is like I kind of am hating that we get this such a late buy
Yeah.
and just having to sit back and just take it.
I'll be
like,
honest with you. I'm
I
gonna
like it.
stop you right there. That is one of the best positions, or the best,
Really?
in my opinion, places to get a buy is late season.
If you were, and I mean this again in all respect, I'm going to state this anytime I think I'm taking a shot at the Saints, and I'm sorry. If you guys were in a better position, like if your record was literally the other way around, this would literally be the best time because Cam Jordan would literally be in a ice bath for 2 days. They'd get as healthy as they possibly could.
Well,
Okay.
case in point, Washington. Right now we're 7-5-1. We have the bye. We had, like I told you in the group chat, we have a guy, Chase Young, who was our number 1 draft pick a couple years ago, got hurt middle of last year, hasn't played yet. This bye gives him that extra week of rest. Now he can come in on the second half. The only problem, however, is in the last 8 weeks, we're 6-1-1. We had the momentum. We were running. Now we have this rest. Sometimes this is good, but sometimes when you have an offense that's kind of slow and kind of struggles like ours, that one game that it takes for us to kind of get back up might be an issue. So the bye is great for injuries, especially this late in the season. If you're making a run or something like that, for sure. So we'll see how we come out of it. But yeah, it's perfect if you're going into that playoff hunt because you're getting the rest. And
they have time to look at how to not do penalties.
Well,
oh yes, they do. And the
a lot
other
of game
thing
film we watched.
The other thing too, Nichole, because in hockey, you know, like the Oilers, every team gets that 1 week of like rest, and they never do good coming back because you have rested legs, and rested legs don't skate as fast, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
In football, it would be the same for like one period, and then everybody would be like, "All right, we kind of got this," and they'd be back to it. So
yeah,
just if you can, that's why they still have the first round buys in the playoffs. It's because everybody wants to still try to have at least that little bit of rest that they can look forward to as a very good team.
And sometimes it's detrimental and sometimes it's beneficial.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, but, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I know we ran long, but we covered a lot of stuff today, and it's always a pleasure to talk about NFC South and
keep pounding
other opposing NFL teams. So, I guess we'll see how these go, and thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.